about what makes you stressed. Everyone here has experienced stress in their lives, but everyone's stress is different. Today I'll be talking about the stress of student athletes. I'm a student athlete, so I know what it's like to be stressed. A lot of stress comes with being a student athlete in college. So first I'll talk about the stress of balancing sports with academics. Then I'll talk about how stress can cause mental illnesses and how stress can cause injuries. So athletes struggle with balancing sports with academics. It's hard to fit homework and studying in with practice and competition. A lot of athletes miss class, assignments, and tests due to team travel. Team travel is on average every weekend during season, and practice is 4 hours a day. Student athletes must maintain a 2.0 GPA in order to continue playing a sport. If your GPA falls below 2.0, you get kicked off your sports team and you get your scholarship removed. If your GPA falls below 3.0 GPA, then you have to go to mandatory study hours every single week. And those mandatory study hours are determined about how low your GPA is. So the lower your GPA, the more study hours you get. So at Casa delay, you have to go to the second floor of the library, check in, sit down, do your hours for the week, for the day, and then have the administrator watch you the whole time. It's hard to have energy and time and motivation to do all this when you're competing. According to the NCAA, it takes 6 years on average for student athletes to graduate. Now why does it take 6 years? Well, because student athletes have to compete and have to get education at the same time, which means they have to take less classes in order to do so. But no one wants to graduate in 6 years. Everyone wants to graduate in 4 years. So what athletes do is they overdo it and they take the normal amount of classes that everyone else is taking while they're competing in a sport. So this causes them to be more stressed and it causes their GPAs to be lower. Now I will talk about how stress can cause mental illnesses. According to the Stress and Mental Health of College Students by Inlando, athletes in sports are more susceptible to eating disorders and exercise behaviors. And this is because of stereotypes. So what I mean by this is, what's that stereotype of a basketball player? 6'4" and muscular. So the stereotype for a sprinter that runs track would be average height, muscular build. I'm tall, not muscular at all, and so I think that I should be looking like that, like I should be muscular and stuff. So I've been a victim of it. I've tried to lift weights and all that, and then I ended up hurting myself. Stress can also cause depression. So depression is a really serious issue from stress. A few years back, a Castelli student committed suicide due to stress, and she was a student athlete. So now every single year it's mandatory for student athletes to attend a suicide prevention meeting in order to talk about the issues of stress and how it can cause depression while balancing sports and academics. Now I'll be talking about how stress can affect students physically. So stress has a physical effect on student athletes. According to Stress Injury Bulletin, stress is related to athletic injury. In the situation seen as stressful, athletes will report excessive muscular tension, which increases the chance of you sustaining an injury. If injured, student athletes stress about not being able to play. So student athletes don't like to sit out. Who likes to sit out and not be able to play a sport? So what they do is when they go into the trainer, they just say, oh, I'm just sore. Like nothing's really wrong. I just get some ice. But really, like you've hurt yourself and you don't want to sit out. Because trainers will be like, okay, sit out for a month, you can't play. And what does that do? You can't play your sport and you can lose your scholarship. For me, if I don't run the time that I got my scholarship for, then I lose it. So if I get injured, that means I don't have that chance to maintain my scholarship. And this causes student athletes to